Okay, so let's take a look just on the daily chart at some of this crypto stuff. So this is XRP. As you can see, this was the strong bull run here to almost $2 for XRP back in April of 2021. I'm not a big fan of these triangle formations. You know that. I'm not a big fan of the wedges, but it is important to just draw them and be aware of them. Notice the break, retest, and push lower here. That was a clear sign that this was ready to move lower. Also breaking the 50 EMA. It ends up coming down to about 50 cents. 50 cents was a very significant level going back into 2020, right? And then once that resistance here, because you can see we couldn't really get above it, came underneath it. Couldn't really get above it, came underneath it. But once we got above it, naturally that will be the place we pull back to for support. Now that we've held the support at 50 cents, we're forming another strong bull leg here. This has moved up from 50 cents now to about $1.50 almost. It's about 167% increase. To me, now that we've broken out of this ascending triangle to the upside, this should continue to hold the 8 EMA and probably make another 50% move up to the $2 range at some point in the next few months before we see it then slow down. Of course, if we enter another strong bear market with Bitcoin or whatever it may be, that could pull XRP away and pull that down. But I've talked about this before, and I think as time goes on, we need to just be aware that some of these cryptocurrencies are going to diverge. They're going to break off of that correlation to Bitcoin. And that's what interests me a lot, because once they're not directly correlated to the Bitcoin price movement and they're moving on their own based on their own buyers and sellers and their own fundamentals, then they're more interesting as far as like what I would like to invest in, because they're not tied to something else. So for me, I like looking at this chart here on XRP. And of course, Bitcoin has been up since it was at 30,000 and it's making a nice bull run. And you could say that that is carrying XRP. But I also like to look at the differences. See the bullish divergence here? That was a strong sign that Bitcoin was going to reverse. With XRP, that bullish divergence is not as strong. It's not as present. Once we got above the 50, that was the sign that we could see this thing continue. And now that it's holding the 8 and holding the 21 in an uptrend, 50 EMA below that, if we can get above and hold $1.40, to me, it doesn't have a lot in its way up to $1.60 and then up to $2. I know a lot of you guys are really strong believers that this is going to be a $10 crypto. I think it's cool that this is happening at the same time as that lawsuit hit, and then they kind of fought their way out of that, and that's kind of like died off. No one's really talking about that for XRP anymore. So for me, this coin seems like it will increase in value in the coming months. It's very hard to argue with that. Take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's another strong player here. This one's much closer to all-time highs than Bitcoin. This is just a couple $100 off all-time highs. Bitcoin is at 51,000. We still got to get up to 64, 65,000 for all-time highs. I think Bitcoin might slow down a little bit here just because we saw resistance to this price previous. I think we could see a little slowing at the current zone, but that doesn't mean I'm bearish on Bitcoin at all. It's really hard to be bearish on Bitcoin once the market sentiment pops up into the buy zone here. And to me, that's a sign that we're probably going to see this thing continue up as well. Crypto is probably going to increase in value over time just because it's a newer technology and it has more time to go. But also just younger people are so into it. And as inflation gets stronger, heavier, and the value of your dollar continues to be reduced, people are going to turn towards crypto more and more, in my opinion. So it's very tough to like ignore crypto. It's easier to ignore stuff like Dogecoin, right? Like to me, there's no strength in this Dogecoin chart at all. It still looks like it's weak. It still looks like it's making lower highs and lower lows. So to me, this doesn't look like a strong chart compared to Ripple or compared to Bitcoin or Ethereum. But who knows? Doge is a very unpredictable asset. ADA, this is Cardano. And you can see this massive pin. This is on Kraken, by the way, everybody. This pin was where I got stopped out in profit on my position here. Rated about, I think like 84 cents I got taken out. I would have been able to hold in. It would have been a nice little run up from 84 to like almost $3 here. Because I was buying this thing down here at like 17, 20. Like I had really good entries on ADA. And it just stopped me out. It sucked. But that's what happens when you use a broker that just has these crazy liquidity spikes. I'm not a fan of Kraken. I'm not here to talk shit on them, but I definitely would recommend you look into other brokers just because, for example, if you look at Cardano, you see this big pin here. Watch if I go like this, ADA, and I go to Bitfinex, that pin is not there. Same day, no pin. It's just a different broker. So just make sure you're using a reliable broker here. But that's my thoughts on the crypto stuff. What coins are you guys holding? I'm curious to know. Should check Twitter real quick. So this was the swing trade that we discussed last week. If you guys were on the stream, this ended up carrying very nicely here into Friday on Euro AUD. Here's Euro NZD. This one comes all the way back to here. I have it erased, but this was a nice swing trade, about 260 pips from Monday to Friday. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here. Can you use 15-minute time frame on crypto? Definitely, Russell. Other than XRP, Algo, and XLM. Solana. Larry says Solana. I've heard about that one. My brother was telling me about some other coin. I can't even remember the damn name of it. Digibyte or something like that. I don't know. I feel like with crypto too, we're still so early in it that like you really should just be focused on the coins that have the biggest market cap, you know, which right now is clearly Bitcoin, Ethereum, monsters compared to everybody else. Then you have Cardano, which has made a nice move. Tether, which is kind of funny to me that that's here, number 5. Binance Coin, I think, is interesting. XRP, Solana right here. Doge. Polkadot. Interesting. Having a close watch on ENJ and CHZ. Okay, I'll check those out. Internet Computer. What funny names. I'm so lost when it comes to this NFT stuff. Like when I'm looking at this, I'm like, what are these things? I feel like an old man. I think you just have to be aware when you're trading